Another one for the Holy Relic build guide-ish. Right off the bat, I'm going to say Balance Mage has the real guide for this, written and videos about it. If you want to look more in depth on the lower budget ones, look at his guides. I used his guide for the low budget on League Start and the medium, I would say the high, and it works. Cleared all content in the game with it. I've been playing it since day one of the league, and I had the build pretty much fully done by day 4, I would say. Between day 3 and 4 at league, I had the build already done. This is the build I used in the Simacrum video project I just put out a couple days ago. Pretty much, I'll go over what I can. This is the, I would say, more to like medium to high. There is items still missing from this build to take it to the actual high-end budget. I just don't see any reason to make it, just because the builds already did everything. I don't plan on doing Ubers with the build anyway. I did Sims, I did Kill the Fear, did some Acrums. You know, there's really no point upgrading the build. I haven't upgraded the build since day 4 of the league. So that's pretty much why I didn't see any point investing into the build anymore. But this is pretty much the build. If I can get this going, not this one first. This one, yeah. So the weapon is a jeweled foil. Pretty much all I did is go on. I just went on trade, just typed in, you know, tax per second 1.8 and see what you can get. Jewel foil is probably the best. You know, get one if you want to upgrade this. There is an upgrade version. Is get the minion damage sin base on a 1.8 base, attack speed base, and then start crafting on that if you want 23% more damage. When I was trying to find these upgraded ones of these, they were like 15, 20 divines, and I didn't want to invest that much into it for the amount of damage. So I just crafted my own one instead. To craft this, it's very straightforward. All it really is essence slamming it with deafening fear, I think it is. Fear. Yeah, I think that's the minion one. Oops. Yeah. So definitely essence of fear on it will give it the minions deal 80 to 90% more damage. And then all you're pretty much doing is just doing that until you hit, I would say, either T1 or T2 attack speed. If you're on a sin base, try to go for T1. If you're on a regular base, just go for T2. Doesn't matter. But pretty much T1 or 2, and then you need to get an open suffix with it, and then just craft the trigger spell on it, and you're done. That's pretty straightforward to craft, very simple to craft. Anything else on it, who cares what it is, prefixes or suffixes. The only thing you care about is just those two. And then for this league, we did the rune craft for minions deal more damage. And then it's pretty much conviction, despair, and bone offering. It's pretty much, you know, gives you your pretty much your max block is what it's for, pretty much. Helmet, very cheap helmet, Jeffrey's crest. It gives you the extra holy relic and a lot of res. If you want to upgrade this, you can get the socketed gems. You can get socketed gems, probably the best one, to be honest. Or I think it's like socketed gems, something like that. Minions, I don't remember what it was exactly. But as a corruption, you can get with it. Like, it's either minions or socketed. Maybe minions, actually, I think. Like +1, +2 for more on the Spectre and Animate Guardian, even though you don't even need it. But Animate Guardian, Race Spectre, Minion Life, and Meat Shield, pretty much you don't want these dying whatsoever. Pretty much, I killed the Fear using the low budget Animated Guardian setup, and the low budget Spectres also. I didn't switch until the high end on both of them until Fear was already done. I was doing Simacrums. But Animated Guardian, I'll put it in the POB what I used for it. But let me see what it's called real fast. So I'll go over both real quick. Early game, I used Dying Breath, Learcast, the Zendoisk Cascock Sage Robe. I'm not sure exactly. I'll put in the body armor. I don't know exactly how to say this. Any gloves with despair on hit, and then windscreen boots. When you switch to the high budget one, it's pretty much the normal setup everyone uses. Kingmaker, Massive Stitch Demon, Garb, Southbound with the Spare Curse on it, and then another windscreen. Specters, this one, the low budget Specters actually were just anything on the ground until I stopped being lazy, and I don't remember exactly what the low budget were. Ballad Mage put them out in a video of low budget ones you can use. Whatever hit he said, I just used them, and they worked. They were like 10 chaos from Ritual, but I think one gave you a lot tree and the other one did something with the charges. I think I don't remember exactly, but the upgraded ones you want to go for endgame are the if you have Kingmaker, it depends that too. If you have Kingmaker. If you don't have Kingmaker, go for Naval Officer. These are all perfects. If you have Kingmaker, then go for the Warlord and a Forest Tiger. Yes, Forest Tiger is expensive when I did mine, but they give you haste, so it's a lot more attack speed and cast speed. But, you know, go Forest Tiger if you have the currency. If you don't have the currency, skip it. It's not that important. And then also, don't go with the high budget Specters until you can probably get around like 100% avoid elements. Usually, to be honest, when I got Ashes of the Star and then I put 20 quality on here, I got both the bone rings, my minions never died anymore. Before I got the Ashes and the bone rings, my Specters and my Guardians were dying nonstop. But once you get your res up on them, they'll never die anymore. Aegis Aurora, pretty much this is what makes you pretty much don't die, because you constantly your max block on the spell, both of them, so your ES just keeps filling up nonstop. Pretty much if you want to get a better version, Corrupted, go for you know, you can get fizz damage taken as an element if you want. You can go for there's really no reason to go for plus gems. You can go for, you know, I don't know, like there's a lot of options. You know, if you want to get more block, which is no reason to, you could, I guess, but like fizz, like damage taken as could be decent to get. I haven't really looked at the corruptions, but like Corrupted Aegis Aurora will be your upgrade version from this. You know, faster attack, Frostblink, shield charge, moving around. Ashes of Star, this is actually considered the budget version amulet. The high budget one would be the Dragon Fang. I think it's called Dragon Fang. Check, I have them over here. Yeah, it's a Dragon Fang with the Holy Relic +3 on it. They were, when I got the Ashes, they were like 30 divines. So Ashes, it's a whole lot cheaper. It's like 2 divines. If you're going Ashes, you need to make sure it's a 29% quality. Very important. Not a 29, you don't really want it if you're trying to go for the high budget. Low budget, you can go lower for your breakpoints, because this whole build revolves around breakpoints. Usually 52 and then 82, I think what it is. I have my notes over here. Yeah, 52 is usually what you'll be at for most of the time. That's what I use to kill everything in the game. And then you go 82 when you want to go with the Ashes. Ashes gives you the 82 because 82 Ashes with the chest for the 30 and then the 23 on the normal quality on here will give you the 82 exactly. If you don't have the 29, you can do an enhance in here. That's what I did to start with. I pretty much, for most of the, until I got the 6th link, I was running, and the Ashes, I was doing Empower, Enhance, Holy Relic, and maybe Avoid Manipulation. But pretty much, you know, Decay Ward, this is pretty much another defense layer. If you don't care about going for minion defense, you can definitely go with the one that gives you the extra Spectre. But I value minion defense a lot more, especially because I don't feel like rebuying Spectres and Anime Guardian because they're expensive. The chest piece, this is pretty much the best to get. You want 5 green, 1 red if you're running the Ashes, mainly because the only thing you care about is getting levels on the Empower, and then going with Everything else you want quality, because getting all the quality on here gives you your 82 breakpoint, and that's what gives you. You'll notice the difference once you hit the 82. You kill things a lot faster. Void manipulation, added chaos, unbound, and minion damage. Pretty much go awake for awakening gems. I went with these when I didn't need anything more. Pretty much upgrade is get this number one. I think you have to get. Enhance if you don't have this. If you have this, go in power, which gives you more levels. And powers are really cheap anyway. Go for level 3 first, then upgrade level 4 when you have the currency. You can easily. I was running 2020 gems for a long time until I just had a currency to start investing into awakening gems. The boots, I had these boots actually since day 2 of the league. Pretty much they are just movement speed, life, resistance, and then try to get chaos res if you can, because chaos res is really nice with this build, especially when you're doing a lot of sims like I was. But boots are pretty straightforward. It's just cooldown, recovery, movement speed. You could definitely get a lot better life roll on these, which I think mine's pretty low. A T4. You can get 35 movement speed if you want. You can get better res. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the boots. This was just, a day 2 item. Why not keep it? And then it's pretty much your Lancing Steel Spraying. You need the Lancing Steel Spraying and the Holy Relic Conviction if you want to get the build starting. To level the build, I didn't switch to these items until maps, I believe. I pretty much, this was league start. I farmed Merc Lab to get all the quality on the Holy Relic, Lancing Steel, the Empower, and Lighten. I did all of that first before I even got to maps, just to have everything ready to go for the switch. And then leveling up, I leveled up as SRS. It worked. I was very lazy with the way I leveled with it, but it works. Once you go Holy Relic, you definitely realize the build's a lot better. And then once you go to 100% Poison, you'll see the difference completely. But Lancing Steel Spray is your trigger life gain on hit, Withering Touch, and Return Projectiles. It pretty much just makes you do this nonstop. Everything just comes back like this. And every time something hits, it's life gain back. You pretty much helps you don't die. Darkness and Throne, the percentage on this is all based on your jewels. That's why you have to do all the math to base on it. When you put the 96% in, like I did, that's all it's calculating everything based on that. You don't, right off the bat, I'm going to say you do not need 100%. Don't go for it. It's a waste of money. Just, even a 90 can work. 95 can work. 96 is what I did with I have a 13 and a 14 in here. And most of mine I have on here are 14s. But it's pretty much, do it based on your budget. And then just go from there. Just times, everything by like this one. I just did a 13 times 0.96. Found out the math difference. Both of these, and just bought everything else based on that. Pretty much all the jewels you run on this build are going to be life with chance to poison. And then anything after that, I would probably recommend get resistance. Because the fact that you run so many uniques on here, your res is going to suck. So a lot of my res for the build come from the jewels. Every jewel I have, I think besides one, has resistance on it. Damn, can't hear. Gentle Touch, or Azran's, Essence Gentle Touch is pretty much for Explode, Curse. Yeah, pretty much you blow stuff up with it. But it's pretty much Tempest Shield. This gives you pretty much more block, Determination, more defense, Malevolence, more damage with Generosity. This, if to be honest, I completely forgot I had this gem on here. This should have been Awaken level 5 gem to give, Malevolence +1. Corruption, you can definitely corrupt these, if you want to get 6% life on here. If you want to get there's really nothing, to be honest. Or probably life is probably the only upgrade really off the top of my head. But I'm trying to think what else. Tempest Shield, like you can go for 21 in here, but there's really no point. Determination's already done. I think that's the rings. I'm running double bone ring I'm gonna say you do not need double bone ring. It's definitely a big waste. I got one bone ring. I started with this one with life, double res. Minions have more elemental res, and then you need to make sure there's open prefix for the craft the non-channeling on both of these. It's what makes you pretty much can cast your Lancing Steel without a problem with your mana. Pretty much the other ring is pretty much the same thing. Life, resistance, and then minions have more resistance and life. I got the second bone ring before I even put quality on my Ray Spectre. That was the main reason. Because I went with this because I just wanted to be extra safe. You do not need this 100%. I probably would recommend dropping the bone ring base and just get an Amorous ring to get more chaos res. Or if you want to go 2 stone to get more all red, regular res, go for it. But you definitely do not need a bone ring. If you don't run the bone ring, then you also don't have the minions have more resistance, which I don't think you need. Because this alone gives you 79. Minions have 79 all res already. Plus another 20 to 30 here. Like, you have more than enough resistance. Flasks. Pretty much, I had this since day 1. Pretty much a bleed immune. And then the other flasks, I would 100% recommend once you get the Aegis Aurora and you start going towards max block, get all your flasks with flask gain 2 charges when you hit on everything. It pretty much makes you have permanent flasks. Because your flasks will pretty much never run down because you get hit non-stop with the build and you're always just blocking. So pretty much it gives you infinite. It gives you pretty much the Pathfinder setup or infinite flasks. But pretty much it's a granite, a quartz, amethyst just before chaos res, and quicksilver for movement speed. But pretty much on these, anywhere you can, movement speed, reduced effect of curse, armor, and then the last one, I went with avoid ignite just to give me pretty much. I think this gives me 100% ignite based on the Pantheon. Let's see. Yeah, gives me 100% avoid ignite. So pretty much ignite is the only thing you're not immune to for all void elements. That's why I went with ignite on here. Just give me the 100% avoid. Because your Tempest Shield gives you the shock. This gives you your freeze and chill. And then this gives you 60% less duration of ignite. And this pretty much gives you 40% chance to avoid being ignite, which pretty much makes you'll never see ignite with these 2 up. Does it work like the way I'm thinking it does? Probably not, but to be honest, with all the ignite stuff, you'll probably never notice it. So pretty much that's why I say you pretty much never get hit by ignite. The tree is pretty straightforward. Where's my... There it is. It's your normal setup. I believe it was lab 1, lab 2, 3, then 4. I believe that's the correct order. Because you don't really need this until you're even in maps anyway for the extra block. And then pretty much just helps you just get through the campaign faster. The tree is pretty straightforward. I'm running Elegant Hubris with the Supreme Ostination, whatever you want to call this thing, pretty much to ignore stats because I can be lazy. But pretty much it's an Elegant Hubris with Gaspero. Pretty much you don't need it, it's an option. If you can fix your attributes without this, go for it. The biggest problem is the weapon requires 212 dex and 155 int, which is really hard to get with this build. That's why this is really nice. Yes, you lose you lose some life, mana, whatever. It just saves you a lot of points overall in the end. And then I have mine with chaos res and minions deal more damage. Pretty much, what I would recommend, if you want, you can definitely. You want to try to go for double minion damage. They're just very hard to find, and I value chaos res really high. Cause I'm at 27 chaos res without my flask up. 62 with it up. I value that a lot, just cause positive chaos res, high res means you don't die that often. But your options are, like, you can get these stats. You have this one. You have the one right here. Just because it's a 2-pointer, it's close by. This one's 3-point. You can definitely go up here if you want. 3 points up here if you want. 3 points here. I would avoid these two up here because it's 4 points compared to the 3s. And you have the one here where I got it. I went with this one though, mainly because I wanted corrupted blood immunity. If you can get corrupted blood on a jewel, definitely would say drop your point here. I just went with this one because I want to go for corrupted blood immune. That's the only reason I went with the minion damage and then chaos res. Pretty much, life, minions, more block, life, reservation, increased effective offering for more block, attack speed. You can definitely go up this way early on. Once you don't need the minion life anymore, drop these points. Another jewel. There's a cluster jewel at the end. More block wheel. Reduce cost of skills. Another jewel. Resolute technique. You take this point unless you can craft it on the weapon. If you want to save the 1 point here, craft. You want to multi-mod your weapon for hits cannot be evaded, then you save 1 skill point. Azimuth's Glaze, go for this one when you have the currency for it. They went down in price. I think I bought mine for 6 divines early on, but this is a lot of damage. That's why you want to get this when you can. More defense. If you have more skill points, going up this way to get more res, more armor, 1%, 1 max all res. This is where my next points would go into. Over here, I have a cluster jewel. Pretty much 12 passive minion. On here, the best in slot is like 60 divines, I think, 80 divines, depending on what they are now. But ideally, you want a 35% increase effect. T1, minions have more attack speed, cast speed, a good life roll, and then a chaos res is what you would want ideally. I wanted to go budget, and I went with just a 25 increase effect with life and attack and cast speed. Worked perfect for me because it jumps everything up. It gives me 2 more life on each one, so I do 10. The minions thing doesn't change at all though, but it overall gives 2% more damage compared to the original 10 this had. Your attack and cast speed stays the same, and dex you don't care about, stays the same. But that's why 35% will actually bump it up 1, and 25 doesn't though. Pretty much these are also the same thing. All of them chance to poison, resistance, life. You probably have to go double res, and then every point. If I wanted to save skill points, these 3 points I would drop, and then just throw them over here for these 3 points, and maybe drop another point somewhere to get the last one if I want to. But you can definitely start with an 8 passive cluster if it's super cheap. Start with an 8, and then upgrade to a 12 later on. Even start with 11, 8, 9, 10, 11 even, and then go 12 when you have the currency for it. Because the 12 one is definitely not needed. I was just lazy and went with the 12 early on. I'm trying to think anything else. Let's do map showcase real fast. I was doing Alva, I think. No. Oh, that's maybe from earlier. Don't need this. We'll just do a quick map. But build's very good. If you're T17s, the build can do. If you're farming invitations, sims. But pretty much you can see when I do maps, 90 fizz, spell suppress. Wait, where? Oh, that's so 87 now. Like, plus my flasks aren't up, but flask up, you're at 90. Your res is good. Block, you run 78 on your blocks. reduce crit 30% chance, 30%. So like you are really strong with defense. All you're really doing is a super lazy button too. It's just shield charge, frost blink if you need to, and then right click. That's your whole entire build. I guess we're doing Alva. Sure, why not? But yeah, like normal, like T16 mapping this build, super easy. Just don't get super careless away. The only map mods I actually do avoid is the enemies have a chance, or whatever the chance to reduce poison chance, I think it's called. That's the one I just roll over just because it's annoying. You can do everything else. You can definitely do the no regen. Just make all you do for no regen one is change your life flask for an enduring mana flask. That's it. We'll just go up here. I don't care where I go. Don't care about this. Yeah, but as long as you're attacking something, you pretty much can sit in a lot of things. But make sure you're always dealing damage. That's the most important thing. Technically, I guess I need to open this. I'm never gonna come back here anyway. I don't really care which one this is. But yeah, the build's definitely, I would say, not the fastest build out there. It's definitely a lot slower than your most builds, but it's a good league start. I'm very happy the way it turned out. I might end up league starting this again next league, just because the build works very well early on. Yes, I did get real lucky this league with drops, but overall I think the build very well early on to get. Had the basics by day 2 going. But you can see that it builds very well. It definitely kills everything pretty quick. And I don't want to miss build too long, but I think I covered everything mostly. I'm thinking. I'll put in the notes section the POB, the what you want to call it, the Anime Guardian Inspectors I'm using. But if you want to see the lower budget version, I would say go check out Balamage's build guide on it and build video. He has the low budget version. I was supposed to have a video out about it, but I had problems this league with Streamlab and stuff, so I just didn't try when I was doing this before I made the switch over from low budget to medium and then to high. But like overall, I don't think there's any problems really with the build. It is slow, yes, but super tanky. Definitely would recommend the build if you want a good minion build that's not that expensive and that's good to get going, easy to do, and that can clear pretty much everything. I'm pretty sure the build can do Ubers too if you actually invest into actual items for the build. I just have zero interest in it, and I want to play a build that can start doing the lead mechanic quickly. So I've already started buying items for the next build. But I'm going to probably sell the build now, price everything out, put everything up for sale, probably get like not that much currency for this build, maybe like 20, 30 divines. And try to start crafting the items for next build, which I know is going to be stupid expensive. But hope you liked the video. Not exactly sure what the next video is going to be, or if there is going to be one. It just depends what to do this league, because I don't really have any ideas. I might just start farming maps and stuff, try out some of the map runner stuff in the King's, whatever this town's called, in King's March, because I've been in Sims for 2 weeks. I might try some stuff with that. Not fully sure, because I have about a month left of this league before I'm gonna be busy doing other stuff. So I gotta start working. Maybe I'll try to do some map stuff. Maybe like run 60 maps, see what happens for fun. But that's it for me for today. Well, hope you liked the video. See you on the next one.